Hey Jungle James, how's it going? I'm hanging in there. What's up, Raz? Hey Customizer, hanging in there. Busy week. Getting ready for the fall, since it seems to be starting up now. Getting chillier. Hopefully things are going well on your end. Alright, so what I got done already this week is I made up some bases. This morning, I went ahead and did some Bondo to fill up the holes at the bottom and sanded it down so you can kind of see it looks, got that bluish tint to it. Hey, what's up, Scott? And what I did is I did put the rod up this leg, and then I cut a piece of hollow brass rod, and I'm going to get her set up on the base, but then I'm going to seam this up and then see what else I need to do. Yeah, I would love to get out of Jersey too and go to Florida. Alright, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to squeeze a little bit of glue at the bottom, but not all the way in there, because when you if you put too much glue in there and then you put that in there, the glue goes around it and fills up and connects, and we don't want to do that. So I'll show you what I normally do on this. I have to do this like looking at it the side to make sure her foot's lined up, but I'm going to try to get the camera in a good angle for you guys. So the goal is put a little glue, put her foot down in there, line it up that it's flat. Make sure the foot is flat, which it is, and go from there. Alright, now one of the other things too is Instaset's going to make sure we don't overdo this. So I'm going to put glue down at the bottom. Not that much, but just enough at the bottom. Make sure I'm actually getting it in there. That's good. I think that's too much. And then what I'm going to do is put the rod here. Doesn't matter which way, and I'm going to put Instaset on here, just so when you put it in there it kind of cures up a little bit faster, because it won't be able to put it in. Make sure we get a little bit more on that, and then you put this in here like so. Make sure we're lining up. Hopefully it didn't squeeze too high up. Looking pretty good. We'll just give it a few more seconds. Like I said, if you're not doing this looking at it straight on, what will happen is when you go and look at it, you probably might have it at an angle. So we're going to lift her up, and it stayed in. So there you go, kind of stayed in there. So once I mix up some A's, we'll let this glue sort of cure a bit. Mix up some A's. I'll try and squeeze A's behind, like in some of these little areas, just to lock it in. I don't want to put glue in there, because what happens is if you try and first of all, if I put the glue tip near there with some of that Insta-Set, it might seize up your bottle. And the other thing too is if you try to squeeze it in there, you might squeeze it on the other side, and then your peg doesn't go in smooth. A's is a little bit more forgiving in that sense. But yeah, so yeah, I basically made up my generic bases this week because I had to do some filling of other stuff. So this is a good starting point. I did attach this leg, and then I grounded out the edges because we're going to seam up this leg. I'm probably going to try to attach this arm too. I probably should go in the garage real quick and Dremel a hole in that. Where is her arm? Where'd I put it? Oh, here it is. Alright, let me Dremel this out real quick. Alright, so we got this stuff set up. Now one of the things I had to do is I did prime this up so there was primer all around some of this area. So it's kind of good to sort of take a little of that primer out, so this way when I add a little bit of glue it'll help lock it into place a little bit better. And then after that I can kind of seam this up. So let's see. Alright, yeah, let's mix up a little Aves just for a Lola first, and then we'll go on to 7 or 9, because 7 to 9's got a lot of stuff going on with her. Let's move her aside for now. Although it is a little cooler out though. I mean, I don't want the winter to come, but at least I was outside all day yesterday and today getting stuff done. Organized the garage a little bit, not much. I gotta really clean it, but I think I gotta order some more A's soon because I'm kind of half a container. I don't like being this low. So I probably should order more. Wait for the next coupon they send out. Figure once we get her leg and arm on, and now that she's on the base, we can figure out what to put underneath her foot. Maybe we'll get one of those Bugs Bunnies printed out. I figure we'll do the Bugs Bunny and then we'll do a basketball at the same time. Try to get those two elements set up. So while the A's is fresh, let's this is the older, crappier brush. Hey Ed, well yeah, you guys got like alligators and stuff all over the place, right? I think no matter where you go, there's always something that's gonna mess with you. Probably should have made the hole bigger, but as long as it sort of locks in the top of this, it won't go anywhere. The only reason why I don't like using glue is because sometimes the glue starts to crack over time. I like to have little eaves to sort of help lock it into place. Okay, that works. So what I'll do is I'll seam up the leg first, and then we'll attach the arm. If I did a Clayface, I would keep it more like the animated show, where he's kind of like smooth and he looks like he's always kind of like melting. That's kind of how I remember Clayface. You know, like the, what was it, the Batman animated cartoon? I always kind of like how they did that type of Clayface. I know I saw a video actually about a week ago where they were talking about like one of the current comic books or something, and the way they drew Clayface was like too muddy. It looked like he was like not really wet mud, but more like kind of like a wet mud, but still kind of dry. I didn't kind of like that style. It didn't seem like Clayface, you know. I mean, it's up to you, but I kind of like the more sort of melting Clayface type thing. Not like Venom, but more of the animated. I mean, you could do any way you would want to do it, but that's just my preference. I mean, there might be other people. I mean, you could do your own take on them, you know. If you want to add more like rubble into him or more like sewers type stuff in him, you know, like because like they always fight in the sewer almost. You could sort of have your own run on it. But for me, like I'm not really a huge Batman fan, and I'm not really a huge fan of like the villains. But the only Batman I really got into was like the animated stuff. I mean, with Clayface, you can actually take it to a whole new level. You know, you can actually like doesn't Clayface isn't he able to like sort of like show textures of other stuff? So you can have him molding from like a street, a brick wall, even like a person, and you can sort of do the clay like that kind of like blending. I mean, are you doing a museum pose of him, or are you doing a this? Are you gonna have him like on a base? Like, what are you doing with him? I guess it's all a matter of kind of like where you want to take it. Yeah, if you're doing that, you can, you know, like I said, you can kind of take it to another level and have it blend in with the ground, you know. Alright, doing the same thing with the glue here. It's going to squeeze around it, but I don't care about this. I got to sand it down anyway. Although got some gunk on top. Always a pain in the ass to try to handle these things sometimes on your own. So yeah, it's a little bit messy as you can see, but clean it up. Yeah, if you can, try and blend them, even if it's just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, just so you can sort of paint the base into them, I guess you can say. Now, I can't put her on the arm, because it'll probably pop off. So what I'll do is I'll Dremel out the arm like I did with the knee, and then I can seam it up, and then I can sand it down. Yeah, so I can't mess with her anymore tonight because I might pop this off. Even though the glue is holding her on, and this is sort of holding it on from the inside, I still kind of need to secure it. Plus, I would like to be able to start putting her on the base too while I work on it. So we'll put her aside in a safe position. All right. Where is the... Can't move the picture. What is this? I got way too many pictures. Delete that, yes. What's this? Yeah, delete that. Delete Abby, she's done. Okay, a little bit more organized. Alright, so during the week when I was casting up stuff, I went ahead and I had this turn in this direction, and I poured resin in here, and then I filled this in with the little A's, but the whole entire thing is filled in with resin, and then also part of the, what was that stuff? The fiberglass. So you can sort of see resin sort of filled in between all the fiberglass stuff, so it's kind of secured it pretty well. But the fiberglass is still up here and it's pretty strong. So I tried to center this after I sanded this down. So I have a rod for here. So the idea is we're going to put a rod in there, and it's going to have like a little bit of a turning thing, I guess. And then from the pictures Rad sent, I cut up a piece of my resin I had in the garage. So I had this block of resin that was actually this thick. But it was kind of like jaggeded, so I drew a circle and I leveled it out. So the idea is this is going to go on the base somewhere, and then the chair will go like that. And then for her, I drumbled out all this stuff to sort it. So as you see, if I try to put her on now, she's too low. So that's why that rod is going to lift up the chair. So what I did is I drumbled out where she would be sitting in the chair, sorta. And then we have to figure out the hand. So the hand, I might have to push like dremel this part out afterwards and make it look like the hand is squeezing into this. Or if it doesn't work, we can do a vote on it. I was thinking maybe, I have these hands I printed out. I might be able to have Raz print a little bit of a bigger one, and then we can actually maybe bend the arm to look like she's got one of those communication devices. But I have to see how this hand fits first with the arm. So for right now, the goal is to mix up a bunch of A's, fill in the chair a little bit, and squeeze her booty in there, and sort of line it up where it looks like she's actually pushing down on it. And then from there, I can actually start planning out the hand, and then I can start lining up her foot. So if we have her on the base like so, right? See how her legs are really spread apart here? So it's kind of hard to get this chair on this base where she's lining up in a good way. So that's kind of what I have to figure out. So so the problem is do we have her foot kind of sit over the side, and have this foot lining up against this piece? Because the more I think about it, the more I might have to make this a little bit higher. I'm not sure yet. And it's all about trying to get her on the chair first, and then figure out exactly where she can fit. Because the only problem is, if we have her set up like this, just say we have her set up like this, where her foot's hitting that and she's on the base, the console should be here, So it's possible that what we could do is we can have her on the base like so, right? And then print out a console for like right here. And just kind of like attach it through the side, like over here, So that's a possibility. It's going to be a trial and error until I get her on this base. And then, so we'll have the rod here that'll go up to the chair, of course not that high. So this way we can line it up so this foot, her right foot, is touching this first. So I have to, so I think I'm gonna have to extend this piece, or I might have to make another one. So even if I get a block of wood too, you know, maybe I have to get a block of wood that comes all the way further out type thing. So this was just something I kind of just tried first. That's kind of the idea. So I'm gonna mix up some more Aves. Run into the garage and put baby powder on this, bring it back in there, and then we squeeze her on there and try to get her lined up. Because I didn't, the way it worked is, one of the problems with this is if I put her too far back, her heel would lock into the back part of this base, and it would be hard for her to get in and out without kind of locking in. And then if I had her too far this way, it would be the same thing. So I had to have her at the edge of the corner, sort of like she's, you know, sitting at the very edge. Now I thought about leaning her backwards, but the problem is it would look a little weird. It wouldn't have lined up correctly, so we're gonna have her at the edge of her seat, so that'll make I guess that'll be a little bit better. Not a fan of these gloves. They have no powder in them. Alright. So basically, just take this and just kind of smush it around the edge. I'm not smushing in where the key is because I don't need it to. I'll worry about the key in later. There's another key that's underneath her her ass basically. Now what I'm trying to do is smooth it out and make it all uniform, because one of the things I learned about baby powder, trying to squeeze it in, say you have like a layer like right there, and then you throw baby powder on there and it goes underneath, and then when you pick it up the stuff starts to not stick. So you want to have, for her, we want to have it all smooth around her booty. So try to make sure it's all, I don't care if the baby powder goes down in there, I can always Dremel that back out. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to basically try to smooth it around the edges, and then sort of see if we can make it look like it's being pushed up. We'll see how well it works. Alright, so I'm going to go in the garage and put baby powder on. I wish, this is something I would normally just do in the garage. So this way I could throw baby powder on there, have the shop vac going, but I'll put some on here, bring it in, we'll squeeze, and I'll kind of go back and forth. I mean, even though I got to do spring cleaning in the studio anyway, but try not to get too much dust in here. Alright, so, you know, I guess I can grab the bottle of baby powder for those that want to know. So just in case anyone's interested, I use this stuff. It's with cornstarch, it's a mild and gentle formula, whatever the hell, phthalate free. And the reason why I use the mild and gentle, it doesn't have a lot of like heavy perfume. I'm not a fan of those baby powders that have like that strong like perfume to it where it stinks up the whole house. This has a sort of a scent, but it's nothing to the point where it makes me sick. So, but yeah, CVS, get a big bottle, and this is what I've been using. It works good. Alright, now for the moment of truth, see how well this works out. So we get her, try and line her up correctly, and sort of squeeze her down. So since the Aves is still a little bit, that's not good. Since it's still a little bit, got moisture in it, it, whatchamacallit, sort of sticks. Good thing that's just water. It's my paint water, but it's just water. Alright, so when I squeeze her on here, I got glue stuck on my hand. This part over here in front of her crotch was kind of not really moving up too high. So what we'll do is we'll sort of try to just kind of cut this off. Sort of, this side will kind of sand this down a little bit later. So because I use baby powder, if I try to throw something on here, it's going to not stick too well. So we gotta get it back up again. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this part needed to have a little bit more too. Alright, let's go get some more baby powder and try for it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some baby powder on her, just in case. A robin? No. I have not done a robin. I don't even think I've ever painted a robin either. Yeah, so a lot of this is going to get like sanded down. I still want to make sure she sets in right. This part over here didn't fill in correctly. I think the closest I ever came to Robin was the Nightwing from Prototype Z Studios kit. But I don't think I ever painted a Robin. Hey Raccoon, just trying to get a 7 to 9 set up on the chair, and got Lola set up on the base and attached her arm. And I spilt my water all over the desk. My nasty paint water. Pretty much it for now. Alright, let's see how this works. Make sure I'm lining up correctly. Yeah. A little bit better. Alright, I gotta kinda squeeze some under here. It's a weird position to hold it, but yeah, this chair is working out really good. It's just a matter of getting her situated on it. Now I know it's not completely 100% perfect with the cushion, you know, like, but she is a weird position because she was made for the skull. But I'm pretty sure with a little sanding and tweaking, it'll work out pretty well. Sorry if it's a bad camera angle, but I'm trying to keep her on there. Whew, my arm's getting tired from holding it like this, but gotta get it done. Alright, so I gotta make sure she doesn't seal to it. Okay. So a lot of this will get like sanded down a little bit, but just to make it look like it's kind of, she is pushing it up in a way. Actually, this piece is supposed to stop like right about there. I think we're just about there. So what I might have to do is, cause her leg sort of comes down around here, I might have to kind of fill this up later and make it look like it's really pushing it up a bit, which is fine. And maybe a little bit over there too, around there. I just have to kind of get the basic shape first. The back looks pretty good. I'll just have to kind of sand it down. But this side over here needs to be a little bit like the cushion's kind of squeezing up more. But I think for right now it's a good start. And it's kind of how we can just sort of kind of get this moving. Once it's cured up and I lock her in with the key, it'd be easier. Do a little sanding, sort of get it to work. But she should stay on there pretty well. And then this will be a good starting point to get it on the base, level her out, and then start detailing it up a little bit more and figure out with the hand. So we're gonna pop her off carefully and put this aside so I don't screw up this whole piece. Okay. But yeah, so that's kind of what it looks like right now. Like I said, I wish this looked better, but with her leg and everything, it should work out fine. So the debate is, once we get her situated on the base, and once we get the base sort of set up, the question is, do we keep her hand on the side if it fits, or do we do it where she's holding a communicator? Now I want to have her hand on the chair, so I went ahead and I cut the arm. Get the hand. So what I would like to do is I would like to get her arm on right now. And then, or maybe once I get her situated on the chair, I'll attach the arm. And the idea would have, the hand would be out a little bit more, because before I would have never hit it, so I broke the hand and I could kind of turn it this way. So I'm thinking having it more this way on the chair, but I have to see. Because the only problem is I could do it where, you know, I can get a hand printed up and have like a communicator in the hand, like so, but it doesn't really fit the pose that well. I'd rather have her on the chair, so I'm thinking I'm going to attach the arm anyway right now, and then this way it'll give me an idea on how to set it up on the chair once it cures. Because it looks better having the hand. I just gotta grind this out a little bit more. See, now my shirt and everything smells like baby powder. Alright, so I was in the garage most of this week, so I really didn't. I finished up the Abigail's custom. I got to film it this weekend, but most of the week I was in the garage. So I did sand a lot of her face down. You can kind of see a lot of little marks, little gray marks I filled in with the putty, and then I sanded it. A little bit more to go, but I kind of cleaned up a lot around up in here too. You can see a lot of the putty work I cleaned up there. So I think I'm going to keep the ears, but I think I could build up around them and they will work out fine. So I don't think I really need to do much with the ears. No, I don't need to. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go Dremel a hole in this real quick. Okay. Make sure that this. One of the things I was debating on is if I should make the chair removable from the base but attach her to the chair only because of her hand. I'm worried about, you know, if I keep her separated and you put her into the base and the handbrakes, I gotta, or I'm also thinking maybe if I line everything up perfect, she could go into the base, but the hand is attached to the base, and with her cuff, you know, she's got those cuffs, kind of goes over the hand, so that might be work too, but I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far yet. And always make sure you put the arm on correctly. I've made that mistake a few times. Now the reason why the arm looks weird on her is because there was that cuff that was there. So I sanded all that down. So we're gonna seam it up a bit, and hopefully I might have to go in there and sort of chop it up again and seam it, but we'll see. So depending on when I go to sand this arm down, if I sand it down and I feel that it doesn't line up, I could Dremel a little bit out and fill it in again to lock it in place a little bit better, which I might have to do. Let's see what happens. Hey, what's up, Iceman? Same thing. Busy week. Getting work done. A little bit of cleaning. Just plugging away. Guess I gotta get ready for the leaves soon because leaves are starting to come down. So I think maybe Monday or Tuesday I'll cut the grass. Hopefully that'll be the last time for the season. Pretty much it. Quiet, which is good. Use this. Gonna try to rebuild these ears a bit. I think we can keep them. Get the better brush. Is it this one? Yeah, I think it's this one. I gotta get my glasses. See what you say. Bob. Oh, they do the models? Well, it's all right. So, for instance, I mean, this is a sideshow. Was it the Vampirella with a different head? So when I bought this statue when it came out back in like probably was around what 2010 maybe 2009. The statue was $220 and I've had it since. Now I think they go for maybe around $400 on eBay. So a lot of the sideshow stuff I get are probably either damaged or new, and they range anywhere from 200 to maybe 500, depending on if you get a good deal. A lot of the customs I do for people, they might buy the statue brand new, so it could be like, you know, these days are around like what, $600. If you get 3D prints, depending on how big you print it and who's printing it for you, they could be like, you know, they could be cheaper, way cheaper. So it all depends, honestly. Blue Beetle? No, I did not see it. I don't go to the movies. I haven't gone to the movies since Deadpool 1. So I'll see it when it comes out for free. I do not spend money on Hollywood anymore. No problem, Bob. Anything else, let you know, ask away. I'll try and help you out. But I mean, if you, Bob, if you want to start getting into stuff and you don't want to spend crazy money, there's a lot of anime kits, and they range. They're like $50 kits to $100 kits. So you can always start with stuff like that. I think it's I mean, I don't know. The Blue Beetle character was okay in Teen Titans, but I don't understand why he got a movie. I mean, the only reason why it seems they got him a movie was because they wanted to compete with Iron Man, so they figured since he is in a body armor, you know. I mean, there's way more popular characters DC could have made a self-contained movie than Blue Beetle, but that was under AT&T, so I just, you know what it is? A lot of people say they're movie fatigue, like superhero movie fatigue. I don't think that's the case. I think it's just that people are tired of crap movies, you know? Like, as a DC fan, Blue Beetle would be, like, I can understand if they made a Teen Titans movie and they threw him in, but why would they make a whole entire movie on Blue Beetle? I don't think he was ever that popular to do that. Yeah, I mean, he was a character in the cartoons and the video games, but I don't think he was, you know... Yeah, that could be a 2 Iceman, but, you know, there's way more established popular characters that they could have done. But this was AT&T who owned DC, so they made it. You know, a lot of people want to jump on, you know, James Gunn right away, but he just got in there. It's not like he said, oh, let's make a Blue Beetle movie, you know? Yeah, poor writing, you know, flashy, you know, putting in superstars into the movies, you know, like, I don't know, they put George Lopez in there. I'm not a fan of him, you know. Like, sometimes they just build movies around the actors than the actual character, you know? And that's kind of what ruined, like, X-Men with Jennifer Lawrence. You know, they built it around her and Mystique than the actual stories of X-Men. But you know, Avengers Endgame, Civil War, all that stuff was amazing under the Russo brothers because they built it around the characters, not the actors. But then after the Russo brothers left, Marvel went downhill. Yeah, well, didn't Marvel like crap on a lot of the CGI companies and try to rush them out and all that stuff? There's like a whole big story about that, wasn't there? That the lady for Marvel like really shit on them. Yeah, like Firestorm and Blue Beetle, they're not really like that. I mean, people like Firestorm, people like Blue Beetle, but not in a, you know, multi-million-dollar movie sense. Like, I figured they would have done a Green Lantern movie, like a really good Green Lantern movie, and throw the Green Lantern in with the Justice League, you know, than Blue Beetle. Yeah, Booster Gold and the original Blue Beetle would have been awesome, you know, but even then, they're still low tier characters, but I always liked them more. I mean, and then also Guy Gardner from Green Lantern, he would have been a really good idea to make a movie, you know, because with Guy Gardner, you could have made it like, um, what was that other movie? The guy with the mask and the gun, the wrestler dude from DC. Uh, I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter anymore. They're just going to use AI for everything, you know? So, they can unionize all they want. The companies are just going to be like, well, we're just going to use AI, so we don't need you guys anymore. Yeah, yeah, the whole world will be out of work. AI will take over a lot of companies and jobs and whatever. Who cares at that point? Well, like I said in past videos, AI will basically, we won't need Hollywood with AI, you know? We could just sit here and be like, you know what? I want to see, Green Lantern fight Superman on Earth 2 and blah, blah, blah. And AI will spit out a story and some artwork, and then boom, you're done, you know? We'll see how it goes. It'll all be interesting how everything turns out. Or AI will take over, hit Skynet, hit the button, and we're all doomed. And we'll be fighting robots. So, either way, something's gonna happen. Yeah, when AI takes over and there's no jobs left, I'll still be sitting here painting and sculpting my own stuff. Probably living in a cardboard box, but well, I think there will always be fans out there who like artwork and like handmade stuff, you know. Um, maybe high-end rich people will be like, "Oh, you do sculpting with your hands? We'll give you a couple $100,000 for that stuff." You know, who knows? Yeah, those ears look better now. Okay, happy with that. It doesn't hit, does it? I don't think it does. Better not. Okay. It doesn't hit. Okay, let's put this right here for a second, since I got a little ease. So, working on a base for that Supergirl. So since I got a little ease here, just start filling this in. Actually, I want to mix up some more eggs. I want to get this solid. NFTs? Yeah, I think they're just like get rich quick stuff. But I think, what is it, the way NFTs work, if you sell it off and then that person owns it, they own the rights to that picture forever. But then I think with NFTs you can like rent them out. I'm not sure. I never paid attention. Someone told me to do that too with my pictures, but I don't know if that fad is kind of over now. I think people made some crazy money and then it's like hated upon in like certain communities. Oh, maybe somebody in chat knows more. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. I don't know. Yeah, like NFTs is it's kind of like a digital artwork, right? That's kind of really all it is. So, I think most people rather have the physical thing. A symbiote Harley Quinn? Nope. I'm kind of sick of looking at not Harley Quinn, symbiote stuff online, because I don't know if you know, Bob, a lot of the statue communities or the fan art stuff, everything is a symbiote now. So now I've seen people, they've done symbiote Batman stuff. So honestly, I don't really, if I'm going to do a Harley Quinn, it's going to be more of a fun thing than a symbiote, I guess. Just my personal take on it. Yeah, Bob, if you're on Instagram, there's a guy called We Are Collectors, and he posts a lot of the fan art stuff that people are making these days. And there is a crazy, crazy amount of symbiote fan art stuff. If you're into that, I mean, you would love it, because there's just a symbiote of everything now. So even in Marvel Comics now, if you look at a lot of the artwork, everybody has a venomized version of it on the cover. Like, I've seen Rogue, Magic, I think they're doing a Magneto type thing. It's just, they did a Wolverine. Yeah, it's kind of like Marvel was like making crazy money on it, and they're like, hey, let's venomize everything now. So it's kind of turned into the whole 90s like gimmick covers. So, but like I say, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's everywhere. If anyone wants to know, these are fishing weights. You know, just go over to Walmart, buy some fishing lead weights, and you can fill up an item to make it heavier. It's an old Boy Scout thing. You know, if you ever were in Boy Scouts and you did the Pinewood Derby, yeah. So if you ever needed to make the piece of front end of the car a little bit heavier, you're allowed to put so much weight in there. So people would, you know, put fishing lead in there. Some people would melt it and pour it in. So you can just cut up your lead easy with a piece of thing. Just kind of throw it in. And if you have to sand it down, the lead sands pretty well too, so. And then next time I have extra Aves, I'll just kind of fill this in. You know, just kind of slowly start filling it in. Mouse weight? What the hell is a mouse weight? Oh, gaming mouse. Oh, I'm thinking like animal mouse. I was like, what are you doing? So I showed you guys before the last video. I'm gonna post a video on filling this up with resin. So this is the 3D print. So what I'm doing is I'm basically gonna make a cloud base. But what'll happen is when I put her on there, she was kind of going backwards. So I put the weight in the front, but I'm going to build a little bit of clouds back here as I put it under her foot. So this way she doesn't go backwards. So I just needed a basic starting point of a base, you know. Yeah, this is the one that Iceman cleaned up. It was a really small sculpt. But yeah, so if you ever have anything that you need to weigh it down because it's top heavy, just throw weights at the bottom. I was going to cast, now the problem is, I was going to cast up like weights in here. I was going to put it into the tin. I'll show you guys the tin. So it's your basic, you know, cupcake tin. But the problem is when you pour, if you throw weights in there, the weights are going to be at the top of it and not at the bottom of it. Unless you throw a lot of weights in here. But the only problem I found though is if you throw a bunch of lead weights in here and then you pour resin around it, sometimes if the lead is sort of like cold, you know, if it's got like a cold touch to it, it's kind of chilly. It doesn't let the resin really cure that well. So I rather do it this way where I can like sort of pinpoint where I want the weight to be. But if you have a, so you could do a couple things though. If you want to do 2 pour, you could pour in a little bit of, you know, resin, let it cure, and then you get like this much resin down there. And then you could throw a bunch of weights on it and pour another thing of resin, and then it'll be on the bottom heavy side too. So you could do that, you know, if you want to. So I want to show you something else I got in. So we'll put this aside. Where's the head? Alright, so my friend met a John in Canada. My turn came up to print me some stuff. So I was waiting for him to print this up. I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but this is that, remember that Power Girl full size I got? Well, this is the bust version of it. So it's kind of the bust version that goes here. Got a lot of tweaking on this to do. So one of the cool things about this one is her hand is here. And it goes on her hip like that. Now her other hand goes up in the air to the right, but what I asked him to do was take this arm and flip it. So I'm going to do it where she's got both hands on her hips, like so, like that. But one of the things is I told him not to print the head. So this is the Wonder Woman head from the Sideshow 1/3 scale bust. I have an extra one. So we printed it in scale, so I'm going to be using this head for this body. I got to pull off the hair and everything, but I think that's going to look pretty cool. We did a test. I threw it away already. He printed me out a neck, just like a tiny neck, and he sent it to me. And we just wanted to see if the head would fit. And then once we knew the neck worked, he printed out the body. So yeah, this is going to be a next year project, but at least he got it to me. So I think like down the line next year, if I have to buy another kit of resin and I have to start filling something in, I can actually start doing it. Now it came with clouds and all kind of crazy like things. I told him not to give me those, so I'm gonna kind of rebuild everything myself. So that's kind of another one of my long projects, but at least he got me to print now while I got a chance. And while I was working on everything else, I pretty much have to just clean her up and she's pretty much ready to go. So I made a simple little base for her. Bought some stuff off of eBay. Put her hands on, finished up the gloves. So where, did I delete her image? Oh no, here it is. Yeah, so Photon. So I'm gonna start painting her up hopefully soon, get her done. Quick little custom project. Throw her up on eBay. The only downside with the plastic stuff for the base is if it gets really hot, like, because when I got them in the mail it was hot day, they kind of like really sag. But I think with a little clear primer and hit it with some white, it'll look like our powers a bit. So that's Photon. Alright, her ears are fixed. The chair is looking good. Probably gonna have to make another one of these, but I'll have to make it out of wood and longer. We have the rod for it. I decided we're going to try to get Lola and we're going to try to get 7 of 9 done. And then once they're done, we're going to just paint up Lola, Harley, and 7 of 9 all together. We're just going to do paint days of those. So I figure instead of trying to fit the painting and sculpting, painting and sculpting, we'll get them all together. But I got a little bit of this left, so I might as well just use it. I thought I... Like, even if I mix up some Bondo, I could just like get Bondo and scrape it in here. I gotta grind this down or actually move it. Let's see if I can move this. I'll probably have to just cut it up because if you look on the side, it sort of sticks up a little bit here and here. I'll grind those out. Now, as far as now, her arm goes like this. I'm trying to think if I should just attach it and then try and paint up the hand while it's on her. It's kind of hard. I gotta try to figure this out. I could, unless I set up in a way where it's not magnetized, but what I do is I set it up where I glue it in at the end, so I can paint over it and then glue it. But she doesn't have really pointy fingernails. I guess you gotta sand down her fingernails. So what I would normally do is maybe what I should do is sort of attach her arm, and then once it's sealed up, then I can saw off the hand at a certain point, and then I can sort of create a little a way to do it, because the problem is if you saw off her hand now and then you put up the arm, it won't line up correctly when you try to do it. So I'm thinking, you know what, let's attach her arm and I'll do that, and then what I'll do is I'll set it up with like her wrist piece, and that should work out pretty well. Alright, let me Dremel a little bit of this out. So I think the goal is, if I get both arms on and I get them seamed up, I can start working on her top part of her outfit and we can get that out of the way. And then the hands will come easier after that. Trying to figure out the hands and not have the top part is kind of a pain. So let's try and do this without hitting the ears. I don't need to really throw a rod in here because once everything is attached, it's not like this side of the arm. So we will throw a little ease in there. Hey Jacob, busy week, plugging away on stuff, trying to get stuff done. Hopefully your week's going well. I got the, whatchamacallit, the Abby Arcane finished, so I get to get a video up on that this weekend. Well, we got her set up on the chair. Got Lola leg on, arm on. Fixed her ears, put her arm. I can't really mess with the chair too much, but if you scroll back, you can see basically the chair. I filled it up with resin during the week. And then what I did is I chopped it up and we squeezed her butt onto the chair. And then basically, gotta be careful not to hit this stuff. You know, and then I gotta make a better block, but this will go on the base, you know, but a little bit higher. And then we'll figure out the, whatchamacallit, the computer part of it. But now that Abby Arcane or Abigail Arcane is done, I have to finish up another project, and then I got to start pulling out some large items in the garage so I can get those, try to get those done before the cold weather sits. And then after that, I can start working on all these kits and commissions people are waiting on. So I have 3 large items to do, and then I can start, you know, pulling in all these other kits and customs people are looking to get done. So I'm moving along pretty well. I'm hoping I can get these large items out of the house, so this way come next year I can really start plugging away on commissions people have been waiting for. Large items really take up a lot of time. No snow, I don't want it to snow. I'm very, very worried about snow and with my gas bill this coming winter. Because I don't really use gas much during the summer, and the bill has been crazy with just like the dryer, hot water, and stove. So you guys might want it to snow, but it's gonna be expensive. Nah, I've been through worse as a kid with snowstorms, so it's not like it's the end of the world. The good thing is I work from home, so I don't have to worry about shoveling the snow like the minute I wake up. I could be a lazy bum about it for a day or so. So that's good. Well, we got to get through fall first anyway. And the leaves are just starting to turn around here. Iceman just wants his pumpkin lattes, that's all it really is. Just, he wants to get his latte on. That's what you say, Raccoon, but you're worried, you want the pumpkin lattes too, don't you? You like driving around to get your latte and look at the leaves. Oh, they already started at Dairy Queen? Well, hell, there's 2 houses down the road from me that already have their Halloween decorations up. And I'm not joking either. They literally had them up for about 2 weeks now. I guess they wanted to get a early start on it. Well, the one good thing about winter here is I'll be able to hit LBI, Long Beach Island. There won't be any traffic, and I could go over to this kitchen kettle place. It's got the best friggin' New England clam chowder you've ever had in your life. It is like liquid crack. It's like $20 a quart, but man, that stuff hits the spot on a nice cold day. So I can't. That's one good thing. Like if I try to go now, I'll never get on the island because of traffic. But once the cold weather hits, they're open. They're open up until Christmas, and then they're closed all January. But then they open back up in February. But man, that clam chowder. Oh, you'll go broke if you go there with a lot of money. You just want to stock up on the stuff. So once it cures up and I sand it down and we do the chest, then I'll add some wrinkles and stuff, like the outfit. Right now I'm just trying to fill in all the cracks and holes. Why, Jacob? Are you a 7 of 9 fan or what? I tell you one thing, it's this statue is underrated. I still say this is one of the sexier items from Sideshow because of the pose, anatomy. So when I did that Wonder Woman off the statue, I absolutely loved it. I would love to have kept it, but of course, you know, I can't keep everything. But it's a really, really great statue to work off of. It's funny too. I almost sold it off just as a Vampirella to get it out of my house, but I just sort of held on to it for a while. Ah, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, well. So far, well, the rib cage worked out well. Took some time. Well, I mean, it would have gone a little bit faster if it was just like a regular custom I was working on. But that's what the Friday streams are all about. A little bit at a time. Just mess around. Well, if I did a Star Trek again, it would be the O'Hara version, you know, but it could be any character. But yeah, any sculpt could work. The original Poison Ivy could work. Um, it all depends on what you know, what you would be looking for, type thing. Yeah, Raccoon, that's the first Ivy. The second Ivy is the one I was working on um, recently with the Abigail, and the third one is the new one that's coming out. I think that's just 3 Ivies. There's not a fourth one. Well, the Stormhead is awesome, but the Stormhead is too big for a lot of... Well, actually, I don't know. Let's see. Is the Stormhead in scale with the Sideshow stuff? I mean, you'd have to get a Stormhead. Yeah, see, the head looks a little too big, actually. Yeah, it's a little too big. They overscaled the Storm. Yeah, if it doesn't fit this Catwoman, I don't think it would fit any of the others. I've done a few of the first Ivy, didn't I? I did the Mary Jane. I did a Phoenix. What else did I do? Damn, did I do 4 customs off of that one or just 2? Let me see. Yeah, now I don't remember. Losing track of a lot of the stuff I've done. Yeah, so I did Mystique turns into Phoenix. I did a Sapphire. I did the Mary Jane. Yeah, I did Jessie Pokemon. And I did a Phoenix. And that is it. Yeah, I forgot I did the Mystique into a Phoenix. And I also did repaints on her. I did a few repaints. Yeah, I did a regular skin tone and a green version. Seems that everybody wants the Mary Jane one though. I've had a lot of people ask to buy it, which I tell them I already sold it off, and then I have other people ask me to make one, but then I never hear from them again. But then again, I'm booked anyway. The only problem with that first Ivy is it's a lot of work to chop up. It's so much work to chop up and make it look right. That's the only downside with it. I think she's fairly easy to still find. I mean, I could do a quick search on eBay. I think it's the... I forget which version is usually cheaper. But her price fluctuates. Sometimes she'll be selling for like $300. Sometimes she'll be like $600. So with the new Ivy coming out, yeah, there's a couple on eBay right now. Some are a little overpriced. Some seem more reasonable. Why are people listing these statues for $1,400? Why? Holy crap. I mean, I don't think they're selling. I don't know, I'm looking on eBay real quick. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I mean, if you do the bidding war, they're ending around 600, 300, 600, 500, 400. Yeah, you could still get her at a fairly good price. I think some people are just trying to raise the market for some reason. You know, never ever look at eBay listings, look at eBay sold listings. Just because it's listed at $1,600 doesn't mean they're selling for that. I think if you, Jacob, if you were to hunt like statue groups on Facebook Marketplace, you probably could find one at a good price, you know? One of the good things about the older statues is the paints fade, sometimes people break them, sometimes stuff happens. You may be able to find one that's cheap, you know? That's how I got all these damaged items. People break them, drop them. Well, like I said, over the past few years, like even before the lockdowns, a lot of people were starting to sell damaged items for the same amount as a retail item. So, like, say this item was, you know, damaged, somebody would be still trying to sell it for $400 or $500, and people were still buying damaged stuff for that price. So, my whole luck streak kind of ran out around 2019, 2018. You know, I used to find stuff like dirt cheap broken, but then I guess that sort of dried up, and then people were offering me damaged stuff for retail, and I'm like, why would I buy a broken item that has no box when I can pay the same amount for a brand new one that has everything with the box? But I mean, it's good for, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I was even telling clients, I'm like, just, you know, find a brand new one. You know? Why buy a body with no head, and then you have to go through all that stuff trying to find a head back? Well, now 3D printing made all that easier now, so. Yeah, you gotta play the weight game, you know? There's a couple statues I've wanted. I've been playing the weight game and I've never lucked out on them, so. But, like the Catwoman statue, I got 2 bodies next to me on my shelf. I got 2 more Dark Phoenixes. I have, like, of the new Power Girl, I got 2 extra ones that my friends got me cheap. Black Canaries I got cheap. What else do I have on the floor? It's about it, I think. Yeah, that new Captain Marvel is really, really nice. I thought about buying it, customizing it, but at the time I was just so overloaded with stuff, so I decided not to. Yeah, and then the Rogue Head. Everybody wanted that exclusive Rogue Head. Everybody wanted it. Holy crap. I know there was a couple people who were like, if I can make $500 off the head and pay for the statue because they didn't really care about that head, people were selling the heads like crazy, you know? But the Rogue Head is just, it was like the perfect head ever made for Rogue. That's why. I popped out the Spider-Gwen. This is for myself. I'm selling the parts on eBay, but this is for, this head is great. I mean, this is a custom for myself down the line. It's not going to be a Spider-Girl, but this head is perfect. They're getting better with the heads, you know? They're getting way better with them. Oh yeah, I got a damaged Catwoman, the second, no, is it the second version? No, the third version, right? This is another custom for myself on the shelf. This body is awesome. You know what it is when you see it with pictures, it's very deceiving, but when you see it up close, it's actually really good. But yeah, as you can see, it's broken. I forgot how I got this one. I had a bunch of points from Sideshow, and they had her up for second chance. So she was only like $300 or $350, but I had like I think I had like 200 points on Sideshow, so I snagged it, and then it came broken, and they're like, either we'll offer you a partial refund or whatever, and I just took the refund. So at the end of the whole thing, after all my points, I got this for like, I think like 50, 60 bucks. So, but yeah, this is another item for myself. Starting to organize the studio more, getting ready for the cleaning. Yeah, Raccoon, that one. The one where she has her hand that's holding her up and she looks like she's flying. I'm gonna make a new character off of it. Some it's basically what it is I got a bunch of characters that I want for myself. I'm not gonna name them though yet. But yeah, it's gonna be a customized character for myself down the line. These are all like next year projects. But I think that Catwoman head, I don't think I'm gonna keep it. I have to debate yet if I'm gonna find a different head or not. But yeah, I got way too much stuff. I'm like looking at my shelf now. There's a pile of stuff on the one smaller shelf that's all my stuff, and then there's all this commission stuff. So yeah, I got tons. Okay, I got some more use here. Yeah, the first Sideshow Rogue was sculpted by Tony Cipriano, and I actually love that body sculpt. I just didn't like the way the head fit into the body. That was the problem. But when my friend had me put that head in there from the second Sideshow Rogue onto that, it worked out perfect. My favorite Rogue custom was the green and black version Rogue I did off of that first Rogue. I love the way the body and the way it painted. It just looked amazing. It's one of my favorite Rogue outfits. Oh yeah, I'm also sitting on this one. I forgot I had this one. Sort of. I have the character in mind, but this is a next year project too. So I'm still sitting on this one. I know who I'm making off of this. I'm not going to tell anyone yet. This is for next year. But yeah, this one was on eBay, and I forgot the person selling it. It was up there for a while with no box, just this. And I asked the person, I gave an offer, and they said yes, and I got the item. So this is going to be a fun project for next year. But yeah, it's this was an underrated one. I always was going to get this for myself, but I never did. But I got this one. Yeah, it does look like Kirstie Alley, and like it's crazy how much it looks like her. You know? But yeah, this is one of those side projects still, just waiting to be done. Oh, I guess, yeah, Jacob, you weren't here when I showed you this, she's ready to go. My Photon. She actually went faster than I expected, even though she was a filler item. So I did a simple little stupid base for her, nothing too crazy. And then just put on the hands and the gloves. And she is pretty much ready, almost ready to be painted. A little bit more prep work, and this is a simple little thing for eBay. Didn't really put too much, you know, too much into it, just kind of messed around with it. Yeah, the head worked out perfect because it looks exactly like her hair almost in a sense. It just had, this has bangs on it where the picture I'm showing you doesn't. But yeah, basically it was a good filler item because all I did was I rolled up Aves and I just rolled the Aves down around the area and I sanded it down. I did the gloves this week because I had extra Aves while I was working on this other item. So I figured let me make these gloves a little bit pop. She doesn't really have boots, so I'm just leaving those alone. This was the Phoenix statue. I have so many of these. I got 3 of these damn things. Yeah, it's the Phoenix statue, see? I got 2 more to mess with, make up some stuff. I got so much crap, it's unreal. Yeah, but this one's kind of cool. You know, this had I got a little bit more work on it. Keep them for you? Why? Who the hell do you want from them? So it was a little bit hard up here. It had that squiggly line from the 3D printing. So that was a little bit of a pain to get out of there, but... And I gotta clean up the eye over here because there was a support there I gotta get out of there. Well, let me know. I'll give it to you for the low, low price of $700 just for the body. But for you, Jose, we'll do $900. How about that? Jacob, it's not that I'm buying them, it's just that, like, my one friend was, like, on statue groups, and he was, like, finding me cheap stuff, and he's like, oh, just repair my stuff for me, and cheap, you know, blah, 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 and then other people, like, the Phoenixes, I did repairs for a guy I know, and he just gave me them as payment, you know, and, like, some of the things that I didn't ask for, they just come into my lap, because I'm doing other stuff for people, you know? Like the storm head I just posted that I finished up, I never bought it. The guy I was doing repairs and he's like, hey, take the head, you know? I'm like, okay, I'll take the head, so. No, Jose, the amount of stuff here for you, you're going to be paying my mortgage, so I should just start sending you my bill. And yeah, Jacob, you're on the list for that Supergirl. Don't you worry. We're gonna get it done. I have to. So I have a Apocalypse statue, one of those Age of Apocalypse I have to get done. And then I got a Thing statue. So what I want to try to do is before the weather starts getting a little too chilly, I want to get those prepped up and ready for paints. So if I could get those kind of ready for paints and do like a lot of like the solid color work in the garage through the spray cans, I could get those done, and then I'll have a lot of room in the studio because I'm going through all my boxes now. I think I'm actually going to throw away some boxes for my personal statues, like my Power Girls and some other items because I'm never gonna sell them, and then if I do, I don't really need the box, so I'm running out of room in the house. I hate throwing away boxes, but I figured these things are going to be in my collection for a long time, and there's really no sense, you know? They're just gonna be over here in the corner collecting dust like crazy. But I have to. This is the next thing I gotta finish up, though. This is This is for Jose will know who this is. For Jess Harold from Statue Forum. So I'm still gotta finish up the hair on her. So this is a Firestar. So once I get the hair sort of fixed up, I can get her onto the body and sort of do the collar work and everything. But yeah, I did the flames on the legs already. Sounds like you got a lot, Jacob. Everybody has a lot. There's only so much I can do. Yeah, so her head goes like this. I gotta clean this up a little bit more. I just gotta work out the hair. It's too high. I gotta kind of bring it down some more. So that's the next item I gotta focus on. Yeah, I don't think I'm retiring. I think I'm going. Well, I think I'm either going to the point where I'm laying on the desk. I'm not moving and I'm streaming. So if you guys see me laying on a desk, you know that's it. It's over. Or I get to the point where I'm shaking and I can't do it anymore. We'll see. But, alright, I think that's where I'm calling it for today. Hopefully by next week, we can actually really focus up on the body and get all this done up in here. Get all the chest up, get the collar going, and then hopefully I'll have a better idea what we're going to do with the arm. But I think it should work out. So... well, I think my one friend says that if anything happens to me, he's going to take all my statues and keep them. So, I think I got a friend who's already taken them. He already said that, put me in your will, I'll take care of all your statues, and I'll keep most of them. As far as my family members, most of them would come in, take all the stuff, and throw it in the trash, or... you know, they wouldn't know what to do, so my one friend's the one who's going to have to actually take care of everything. Yeah. But alright, that's what I'm calling the stream, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully next week we'll be able to get a little bit further into this stuff. And then maybe plan out the Lola as well, too. Figure out what we can do with that one. Alright, I'm out. I'm going to go try to have a bike ride before I lose the sun, too. Get some exercise.